Lady Janet's father warned her never to go near the well at Carter Hall, for there it was an enchanted place where the Queen of Elfland held her court. But Janet, she was a sprightly maid who followed only her own will. So she tucked her kirtle up round her waist, and she went off to the well. She went off to the well. Deep into her father's wood she ran, and when she came to the well, she saw wild roses grew round it. They were so beautiful. She plucked one. Suddenly before her stood a tall white steed, and on that horse there sat a man dressed in Elfland green. Who bids me here? I did not bid you visit me. I plucked only this rose. But these are my roses, he said, that grow around the well at Carter Hall. And who are you? She asked, who stands here upon my own father's royal lands? My name is Tamlin. I am a knight of the Fairy Queen. I was once a mortal. I was the grandson of the Earl of Roxburgh, but my horse, it stumbled in this strange enchanted place, and as I lay stunned upon the ground, the Fairy Queen put me under her spell. I serve her now beneath this well. On and on they spoke. Janet's eyes grew wide as Tamlin told her secrets of what it was like to live in the underground world of the fairy kingdom. Tamlin's eyes grew sad as he looked at Janet's face and form. He had forgotten what it felt like to be a man, and his heart yearned for her. Well, many a day after that she returned, for her heart too yearned. Plucking a rose, she'd summon him and stay all day till the moon was above. In time, the fair Lady Janet and the enchanted man Tamlin were deep in love. And so it happened. Janet's father noticed that she was with child, and seeing her widening girth, he raged. Which of my knights has done this to you? Is he a man of worth? None of your knights is as fair or as fine as the secret father of this child of mine. Name him, that you might openly claim him. I cannot, she said, and to none of your knights will I ever be wed. None of my knights, say ye? Off you go. We will find you a husband in Edinburgh. But Janet's heart was already pledged to Tamlin. Deep into the wood she ran, and summoning her love with a rose, she said, Tamlin, Tamlin, is there not a way to break the spell that holds you here against your will? Wouldn't you be the father of your own child openly? Alas, I would. But it would take a brave heart to work the plan. Janet, you're brave. But are you that brave? I am braver than you can imagine. Then come close. For it was as though the leaves and branches had ears to hear. Janet, on All Hallows' Eve, the Fairy Queen will ride out of the mound. She will be followed by all of her company. I'll be in the third company. You'll know me. I'll be riding on a tall white mare, one hand gloved, one hand bare. By midnight, we will arrive at the well at Miles Cross, hide in the shadows. And when you see me pass, drag me from my horse. Dear lass, do not let me stray. All about the fairies will cry out, Tamlin is away. Oh, Janet, I'm afraid. They will turn me into gruesome things, but do not let me go until they turn my living flesh into a burning coal. Then throw me into the well. The water will wash away the fairy spell. And so, on a dark and gloomy All Hallows' Eve, Janet went to the well at Miles Cross. She crouched in the shadows, and she drew her cloak about her shivering shoulders, and she waited. At midnight, she heard the tinkling of the fairy bells. She saw the eerie green light. The fairy queen came riding, 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 followed by her knights. The first, the second, the third company passed. Janet saw Tamlin just as he said. He was riding on a tall white mare, one hand gloved, one hand bare. She waited, and just as he passed, she reached up out of the shadows, and she dragged him to the ground as all around the fairies cried, "Tamlin is away!" Janet saw the evil queen turn, and Janet felt Tamlin shrivel in her arms to become a slimy lizard. She held him tight. He became a coiling snake. She held with all her might. He became a wolf with wide jaws, a bear with sharp claws. She held him tight. He became a lion who pinned her roaring to the ground, but still full with belly she clung round. He became a bar of molten iron. She gasped, but did not let go, until they turned his living flesh into a burning coal. She threw him hard into the well, as all about the fairies cried, "Look, the maiden broke the spell." And up out of the well came a human Tamlin. Janet threw her cloak about him to hide him from their sight. The fairy queen turned in a rage and said, "So, Janet, I see you freed my favorite knight. Tamlin, if yesterday this I had only known, I would have cut out your heart of feeling flesh and given you back one of stone. And if now I had the power and I could, for what you've seen and spoken of, I'd pluck out your eyes and give you back ones of wood." And with that, the fairy queen turned and rode off with her host. The tinkling fairy bells grew faint, as did the elfin light. But as Janet held Tamlin trembling in the dark, she knew he would be her delight. She knew he would be her delight.